She's been described as one of the founding mothers of NPR, so I guess I was one of her children. And over a more than 40-year career, Cokie Roberts cemented herself as a trailblazer for women in journalism. The longtime political commentator died this morning at age 75 of complications from a long fight with breast cancer. And native of Louisiana, Roberts attended Wellesley College here in Massachusetts, took her first job in media hosting a public affairs show at the Washington television station WRC-TV. In 1977, she joined NPR, which was then a little-known radio station, as a congressional correspondent. It was one of few women on air at the time. She stayed in the role for 10 years before moving over to ABC as a political correspondent, chief congressional analyst, later becoming co-host of ABC's This Week. And her love of politics ran deep, as did my love of her work. The daughter of two former members of Congress, Hale and Lindy Boggs, Roberts grew up surrounded by the family business, even considered running for public office herself, but ultimately decided against it, serving the public instead in her own way.
I do feel strongly that informing the voters about what's going on, trying to explain it in ways that people can understand it, and putting the issues out there is a form of participation.
In 2016, I was lucky enough to interview Roberts during the New Hampshire primary, where she saw the writing on the wall long before many others when it came to then-candidate Donald Trump and the voters who made him president.
They are fed up with Washington, with inactivity in Washington, but it really goes beyond that, Jim. We're living through the equivalent of the Industrial Revolution. We're going through the same thing now, where the entire economy is being shaken up and people have lost their moorings, and they think somebody's to blame, and they think this guy might be able to fix it.
It was insight and an innate understanding of people like that which made her the reporter she was. Over the course of her career, Roberts was recognized as one of the 50 greatest women in the history of broadcasting, named a living legend by the Library of Congress, recipient of 3 Emmy Awards, the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award, and when she wasn't on air, she was writing 6 books in all, largely on the role of women in American history, a role she knew she was playing as well.
It is such a privilege. You know, you have a front seat to history, and you do get used to it, and you shouldn't, because it is a very special thing to be able to be in the room at the event when all kinds of special things are happening.
And it takes a special person to bring all Cokie Roberts did to the job, one of the best ever.